Welcome back, it's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review, and today from McFarlane Toys, in their DC Multiverse line, we are featuring Lobo and Spacehog. Alright, so, truth be told, this is my second take on this video. I was very unsuccessful with my first take. The box for this is so large, I couldn't fit it underneath my camera, and when it was time to unbox it, I just couldn't do it, so I had to reshoot, which we're doing right now. So I already unboxed the vehicle and the action figure, and we're gonna take a look at all these separate pieces and hopefully assemble the vehicle together on camera, hopefully without incident, and it won't be a mess like my first take on the video. So what we have here is the largest component that was in the package, and this is Lobo's Spacehog. Let's take a look at it real quick. Let's unbox this part first. So it looks like we have the handlebars and the fork with this crazy decorative skull on the front. And underneath that, we have packaged the actual vehicle itself. Alright, so according to the box, once assembled, this thing measures in at about, I think, 21 inches. Let's get this in focus. Yeah, it's a very hollow feeling plastic, you know, especially towards the back near the engines. It's just really hollowed out. But the sculpting nonetheless looks really nice, incredibly well done. Let's see if we can assemble it real quick. And then here are the handlebars. And then according to the instructions, these pegs here get attached to the sides. Now this is one of those deals where I'm not sure if, like, once you do this, if you could disassemble it or if it's a permanent fix. We'll see. So there's a tab in the front, and then it's going to slot into the back of the skull right there. Yeah, so once you snap it in, it's a permanent attachment. There's these little tiny pegs on the tip, and then once you plug it in, it's going to snap in, and then once it's in, it's in. So keep that in mind. Once you attach it, it's a permanent attachment, so you're not going to be able, you will not be able to disassemble it later. And that's the completed Spacehog. It's really well done. I have a feeling that a lot of customizers are going to want to, you know, really enhance the detail on this. You know, you can apply maybe like a black wash to the engines and certain parts of the bike to, like, really bring out the detail. I can imagine some people maybe even going a step further and repainting it, which I think would look fantastic. Like, this looks nice, but it looks very plastic-like. You know, if you want to get really nuts, grab a can of, like, chrome spray paint and just go to town on this. You know, really make it look realistic. But it's fantastic. You know, according to the box, they say this thing measures in at 21 inches, and I wouldn't doubt it. Highly detailed. For a size comparison, here he is next to a Marvel Legends Vulcan, so you can see just how large this space bike is. Here's a McFarlane Batman, and again, you can see this thing is ginormous. Also included in the set is the Lobo figure, and he comes separately in this smaller box. First off, we have Lobo's chain and hook. You know, it's his trademark weapon. You know, the chain wraps around one of his forearms, and then there's this crazy large meat hook. We have the alternate portrait. This is the head I kind of wish we got originally with the first release of the figure. It's very much inspired by the artwork of Simon Bisley. Up next we have, let's cut this open, I'll take this out. We have Lobo's faithful canine companion Dawg right here, which for me makes the whole purchase worthwhile. Dawg's kind of like Lobo's loyal companion, and it's awesome. He has this like aviator helmet on with the goggles, and it's really cute. I just kind of wish this thing was articulated. The seam line here is kind of unsightly, but I think that's easily forgiven. If you have the really old school DC Direct Lobo with his Spacehog and Dawg, this is definitely a step up. I do have that, and maybe one day I'll do a comparison video. But if you have the original toy from the early 2000s that DC put out, you know, this is such a huge upgrade. I still have a fondness in my heart for the original toy from back in the day, but I can't, you know, I have to admit this new one is just fantastic. Here's the display base for the bike. Nice decorative detail. You have the Lobo logo. I kind of wish it was painted a little bit nicer, but this will do. And you can see there's kind of like some detailing and some kibble on the base. And then here's the stand for the motorcycle. So you insert this into there, and then this, you know, you could easily display the motorcycle on top. And now we come to the main man himself, Lobo. And this looks great. I kind of feel like this is the figure we should have gotten in the first place, you know, a year and a half ago. He has Bite Me Fanboy on the back, which is a fantastic detail and homage to that comic written by, what was it, Alan Grant and illustrated by Simon Bisley. The original 4-issue miniseries that came out, I want to say in 1990 or 91. The detailing, like the first release, it's incredible. A lot of texture on his vest and his denim jeans. He has the skull knee pads. It's a fantastic looking figure. If you have those heavy metal versions of Superman and Batman, this, you know, you can start a band. Wait a second. I think I'm missing an accessory. Oh, here it is. Okay. I almost forgot this. For a second, I thought it wasn't included. This is like also one of the big. I mean, in addition to the bike and Dawg, for me, this is also a must-have accessory. The crazy guitar. So, if you missed the first release of Lobo, this is a must-purchase. I think this is like one of the really over-the-top things McFarlane has done in the DC Multiverse line. You can even display this on the base as well. There's holes here, and you can just easily display it to go with your motorcycle. So yeah, you're getting a fantastic value with this set. I know some people might think it's a little bit on the pricey side, but in all honesty, you know, when's the next time are we going to get like something this awesome? Lobo is a character who's very beloved. He's had a couple of action figures, and if you ask me, not too many. I think he deserves a lot more. You know, there was the DC Direct figure from 20 plus years ago. There was the Mattel DC Classics, which was a Build-A-Figure, and that figure is awesome, but scale-wise, it's like ginormous. There was some animated series figures, but the McFarlane one I think is great. As much as I loved the first release, I had some issues with it, you know, mostly to do with the head sculpt, and I think the flesh tone wasn't the right color. But anything that was wrong with the first release is really corrected with this new one. It's fantastic. And let's get Lobo on his bike. The McFarlane figures, even though they're well articulated, they're not the easiest to pose. And that's what he's gonna look like on his bike. And then you can also attach Dawg on the back. There's a socket under his leg, and I think you plug him into one of the spikes in the back, so they can like go through space and go on adventures together. The one thing I kind of wish this set had, if anything, was one of the space dolphins. If you remember from the older comic books, Lobo has an affinity for like these space dolphins. As like crazy and as murderous as he is, the one soft spot he has in his heart are for these like space dolphins, and I kind of wish they would, you know, at least include one of the space dolphins. But yeah, I can't recommend this enough. It's excellent, well worth the purchase. Even if you're not a fan of the character, I think this is definitely something that should be added to any DC collection. You know, he's such an outrageous character. It's such a beautiful looking vehicle, and the accessories you get, it really is worth the price of admission. Alright, so with that being said, let's wrap this one up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer or subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. I greatly appreciate it. So until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I'll see you at the next one. Alright, later.